Welcome to the Abolitionist Round Table with your hosts Del, Phil, and Janice. Come on in and take a seat. You're invited to join the round table. Call 734-822-1600 to get into the conversation. And now, your hosts, Del Marsh, Phil Stargell, and Janice Daniels.
Good morning. This is the Abolitionist Round Table, and we are in mourning this morning. It is with the greatest sympathy that I can muster to comment on the Thursday murder of our bravest and finest. And I just want to offer my condolences, and I'm sure everybody at WHAM 1600, the station, we all want to join in and give our condolences and offer our prayers to the families and the loved ones of those brave fallen Marines. Mayor, as the mother of a Marine, this has got to be some of the worst news that a person could receive. Just even the thought of it. But
just the thought of it.
It's bad enough when we send our troops overseas, but here we are in our own hometowns.
Right.
This has got to stop.
Well, you know, as a mother of a Marine, I am part of the Marine family, and I am grief-stricken. But as a woman who has lost a child, yes, I also have such a heartfelt sympathy for these families because I know what they're going through. Yes. You never get over losing your child. People should never outlive their children. That's just a given. As an American citizen, I am pissed.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I am really angry because, as Del so eloquently pointed out, we've got military bases that are gun-free zones.
And got the signage up to prove it.
Yeah.
You know.
What is this?
I mean, you could see the sign. This is a gun-free zone.
Yes. Yes.
It's insane.
I'm looking at it right now. Yes, you're right. It is a gun-free zone. That is absolutely ludicrous. That the president made a deal with Iran for them to continue on their continue to make this nuclear bomb, but then our military is not allowed to have weapons on a military base. Of course, you know, this had to be something that was enacted by some liberal field. To have a military base, a gun-free zone, a military base, a place
William Jefferson Clinton.
Can you believe it that we've set up just like we have, you know, this is the same situation that happened in these schools where they had these gun-free zones and a gunsman, and just like the movie theater where it was a gun-free zone and that kook went in there. Yeah. Now these kooks and under the, you know, that under this guy that he was a Islamic sympathizing terrorist, that they can't call him a terrorist, went in this gun-free zone and murdered. Like you said, our most
what we see
most
is
honorable people.
We have allowed this political correctness to interfere in good judgment on the part of our people that are sworn to protect the citizenry of this country. We are in a war. And we should be acting like it. Our soldiers are a target. And once they become targets, they should be able to defend themselves.
And what are the liberals focusing on? Interring the grave of a Confederate general.
Yes.
You know, there's that dysfunction. There's a disconnect from reality. But I will tell you, my son, as a millennial, I feel so much pain for the millennials because they're the ones that are going to fight this war. And it's not. I'm not saying this as an original thought. Other talk show hosts have talked about this fact that you and I are talking about theory and we're talking about consequence. But our young men and women are going to fight the war that's coming. That's here. In fact, it's not coming. It's here.
It's here. And the thing is that the first, anytime you are talking about committing the treasure of this country. Our men, our fighting men and women. What you have to do is you have to get people along with you before people will commit their treasure. They have to be on board. And where we see now, we are far from being on board with a unified nation, recognizing an enemy and doing our best to annihilate that enemy, because that's what the mentality has to be. It has to be, we will bury you and mean it. You know, what we're doing, we won't even say what we're fighting, who we're fighting.
You know what? I call for Ted Cruz to lead the way on this right here and repeal these gun laws and these military bases. Repeal it. I call for him to lead the way and repeal this. With this latest tragedy, this is not the first one. We had another guy that did the same thing. So we've seen this happen multiple times. Well, he should lead the way with this,
and you see
and repeal that.
How quick the leadership of this country is to want to say, well, what was his motive for doing it?
Well, he was a lone gunman.
Yeah, he's a lone wolf.
That's what they want to say. That's the narrative.
But everybody that flies a Confederate flag is an enemy.
Exactly. And our president right now is going to federal prisons talking about releasing prisoners. That is not his mandate.
That's exactly
That
right.
is not his mandate. He was elected to enforce the laws of this country, not to destroy
But let's
it.
go a little bit further than that. He said that one of his main things when he became president was the empty Guantanamo, closed Guantanamo Bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, oh boy.
And put him on trial in our courts.
Yeah.
And truly,
you got to remember what he did. So this is why we know this Iran deal is a bad deal. This is somebody that negotiated Bird Dog for 5 of the worst terrorists.
Yes.
That only had a tether on their leg for 1 year. They off.
Yeah.
So they're free to do whatever they want right now.
Who knows where they are?
And who knows where they are right
but
now.
you can
I'm sorry to
bet
cut you off, man.
That's fine. No, I in terms of the Bergdahl or Bo Bergdahl issue, I begged my representative Dave Trott to write articles of impeachment because he had said he could do that. In December of 2014, Dave Trott said he could write articles of impeachment because he was on the Judiciary Committee. In June of 2015, because of this Bergdahl case, I said, where are your articles of impeachment that you said you could write? Of course, silence. I've asked Dave Trott 25 questions, and he has not answered a one of them.
Wow.
He won't meet with me.
You can see the mentality of Washington whenever anything happens like San Francisco, like the Marines. You don't hear the outrage that they do when they have an issue that they want to promote and bring about, such as that there is blatant systematic racism in this country when there has never been systematic racism in this country. There was bad, brutal racism.
Well, there was systematic racism.
But it was systematic in the Jim Crow state.
There you go.
That's where it was.
What we need to do, and we hear them not pinning that Confederate flag on that Democrat. Every time we have this conversation, that Confederate flag should be pinned on the back of that donkey.
That's exactly where it should be.
And that's exactly where we got to keep pinning that. Because, like you said, Phil, in those Democrat control strongholds, they did have legislation, they did have laws that were racist.
And let's not forget this guy that did this incident Thursday.
Yeah,
he's from Kuwait. Kuwait is where the Marines liberated that country, and this guy comes over here and is raised in this country, and how does he show his gratitude?
Too. Yeah.
How does he show his gratitude?
Well, not only that, but why wasn't he on the NSA's target list of people to watch? His
Because
father
his
was
dad
identified
was, yes.
as a terrorist,
Exactly
a potential terrorist. And the NSA is collecting information about you and me,
Yes.
and they've got data files that, of course, this doesn't hit the mainstream media. The NSA collected data files on people so deeply that they've got pictures of babies, they've got pictures of men flexing their muscles in front of the mirror, they've got pictures of ladies in their lingerie. I'm telling you, they are collecting information on you and I that makes me afraid to say anything in my living room with my television. You know, I got this big screen TV with the Xbox and the whole 9 yards. I don't know who's watching us.
I want to go to the lines, and because we got a guest coming up at the hour. Bruce from Grosse Pointe. Hello, Bruce. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen, lady and gentlemen.
Good
Janice,
morning.
Hi, Phil, Del. You know, I know you guys are talking about this Abdul Aziz character.
I
You know,
deliberately didn't mention his name.
Yeah,
but,
well, I know it's a little difficult to try to get some of these names out sometimes, but you know, this Nucatello woman, this so-called doctor.
Yes.
That this Planned Parenthood. I watched this video, and you know, I had to force myself to watch it. I mean, it was just breathtaking. I was nauseated by it. I was revolted by it. I don't know if you guys saw it,
Yeah,
but
I looked at it.
you know, this thing is it's some of the most disgusting things you'll ever watch. I mean, I knew this stuff had been going on. Dr. Alveda King had told me about this when I was researching the book that's coming out in November, but I did not know the scope of what they're doing, the depths to which they will descend. Planned Parenthood, guys, has to be defunded. These people have violated two articles of federal law in selling and trafficking and participation in trafficking in body parts.
Yes.
And this is not just tissue, like Cecile Richards, the president of Planned Parenthood, said in her little response the other day. You know, these are body parts from dead children who could have survived outside their mother's wombs. And she is bragging about, Nucatello, guys, is bragging about having done an abortion on a 17-weeker. Mm-hmm. A 17-weeker. Now, abortions are illegal after 20 weeks. Mm-hmm.